Good morning. This is Radio Douglas.
Our special guest today is Mr. Brogy and his accordion. Good morning, Mr. Brogy. Say that again.
Good morning.
Good morning. Your other announcers are Mrs. Jlarrenaga and Dr. Whitbeck. The date today is Tuesday, June the 9th. Who could believe it? It's already June. My gosh. And the official Douglas time is 8:31. It's going to be nice today.
Yes, and the 1 and the 2 and the 3. June is National Accordion Awareness Month.
I didn't see that coming.
During June, it is all of our duties to stamp out the scourge of accordion around the country.
Sorry. You carried away.
Yes. Yes, and then there...
Were you saying something?
No. You just keep playing away. We'll have a soundtrack that goes along with us. It is a sad thing that it takes a full month to become aware of accordions. I have found that I can become aware of an accordion within like that as soon as it's playing. Maybe even before it's playing. There's that fear. Whenever you see anybody like you holding an accordion, there's that great fear that the next thing that's going to come out of it is a sound.
Or that you're going to be like riding on a merry-go-round.
So, on National Accordion Month, the website says that in order to celebrate National Accordion Month, go find a local performance near you or watch a video. And so, or if you're really lucky, take up lessons. Accordion.
We're providing a service to all of our viewers because they can count this as an accordion concert today.
Yes. Yeah,
you're welcome.
Celebration. Thank you. And today and today only is also National Strawberry Rhubarb Pie Day.
Solid.
I love strawberry rhubarb pie. And you can go out and harvest rhubarb and pick some strawberries and make a pie. Break out your favorite recipe. And I have a strawberry rhubarb pie that I will put in the information section below the recipe for a strawberry rhubarb pie. So,
nice.
There you go.
My recipe is drive to Idlewild, pick up pie, leave.
And now it is time for happy birthdays. And this is unique because I got an email. And it's also unique because we have an accordion accompaniment. A happy birthday to Kyle. Kyle Hurt. Your parents sent me this sign to share this morning on Radio Douglas. So
that is so thoughtful. What a
isn't it great? Sign. Happy birthday, Kyle.
Happy birthday, Kyle.
It is also Alan Zhao's birthday. Happy birthday, Alan.
Alan.
And you share birthdays with Michael J. Fox.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Michael J. Fox. Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp, who was not born in California, as we learned last Friday. He was born down south in Kentucky, I believe. Teddy Bruschi.
Former Patriots player.
Yeah, former linebacker for the New England Patriots. And the music we played this morning, our intro music, Your Love Keeps Lifting Me Higher and Higher by birthday boy Jackie Wilson. And Mr. Brogy, do you have any other birthdays for us? Musical birthdays, perhaps?
Cole Porter.
Cole Porter. Do you know an accordion song by Cole Porter?
Well, I don't think he intended the accordion to play it, but here's a little. I played a little Cole Porter earlier. Begin the Begin by Cole Porter. Cole Porter wrote a lot of famous musical theater songs. So,
Yeah.
what was the other one we talked about earlier?
I Get a Kick Out of You.
No, there was another musical birthday.
Oh, another musical birthday. Oh, yeah. How can you forget that? Electric Guitar God.
Yeah, Les Paul.
What's special about Les Paul?
Oh my goodness. Should we wait for the Tuneful Tuesday segment?
Well, I'll just play a little Les Paul.
I think we should.
Yeah, Les Paul is not known for his recordings in our era, really, is he? But this is Les Paul. Les Paul and Mary Ford were very, 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 very popular.
I'll talk more about Les Paul in the Tuneful Tuesday segment.
Okay, excellent. We will do that. And since you have said Tuneful Tuesdays, that seems like a perfect segue. Perhaps.
Say happy birthday to Kyle again.
Say happy birthday to Kyle, and to play our music. It is Tuneful Tuesday with Peter Brogy for children and young people ages 2 and over. So please take those 1.5-year-olds out of the room.
Brogy, man of many talents, play more instruments than I can even name.
What do you have for us today, Mr. Brogy?
Well, I have an accordion. And of course, you want some more accordion music, don't you? As always.
It is National Accordion Awareness Month. Mrs. Loreniga has that look like everyone does when they see somebody with an accordion. It's either awe or fear.
It reminds me of the parts of the movies where the characters like end up in like the freaky closed out Coney Island and all they hear is the accordion, right? It's like this, it conjures up like scariness for me.
Really? Does it?
Yep. It's very
It makes you think Scary Coney Island?
That, not so much. The one before, yes. Like, isn't it?
The
Go
one
ahead.
before was the verse to O Sole Mio. Nobody loves accordions like the Italians. And if anybody loves accordions more than the Italians, the second one was a German song. Of course, the Germans love accordion.
Yes.
And everybody loves accordion, except Mrs. Loreniga.
I like the chicken dance on the accordion, and that's about it.
Which was written by an Austrian. Austrians also love accordion. And this is called a piano accordion because, yes, Anybody?
Piano keys?
Because it looks like a piano on the side. Right? So other accordions are called button accordions, and they have buttons on both sides.
Really?
Small, medium, and large. And some terms that you might hear are concertina, bandoneon, there's a few more, different sizes and things. And this accordion makes the same note whether I am pulling the bellows out or I press a different button. If you press a different button, you get a different note. Let's try that again. So this accordion gives you the same note if you press the same button, whether you're going out or in, but some accordions, some button accordions, you get a different note if you're pulling out or pushing in, even while you're pressing the same button.
Is that a large accordion?
This
or medium?
You would say a full-size accordion. This is actually my dad's accordion.
Aw.
So this is circa 1950s, I would say.
That's really extra cool.
Very super common style for that era.
Was your dad a musician?
He was an accordion player. What's the difference between an accordion and an onion? Nobody cries when you cut up an accordion. Tragic story, and all too true. I accidentally left my car unlocked with my accordion in it in a very dangerous part of town. And when I got back, there were 2 more accordions.
How many accordions can you fit in a telephone booth?
How many?
101 if you chop them up fine enough.
Oh, okay. You know, that's the second joke I gave is not entirely without actual what am I trying to say here?
Truth?
Yeah. Because if people find out you play accordion, they go, I've got an accordion that's been in my attic. I've actually acquired 2 more accordions just based on people knew I had an accordion. Like,
well, I think you should bring them to
like,
I think you should bring them to school and teach Chris and I how to play the accordion.
Yeah, that would be 3 accordion players.
Yeah.
Yeah. I try.
What do you call an accordion player with a pager? An optimist.
Nobody knows what a pager is, Dr. Whitlock.
Are you Googling accordion jokes right now?
No, these are accordion jokes I know.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, accordion is sort of loosely related to the saxophone and the clarinet because they both, and the harmonica and the
harmonica. I was just
going to use reeds, which are thin pieces of, could be something rigid, could be wood, could be plastic, could be metal. And when the air blows across it, it vibrates and that creates the sound. Now I want to talk about Les Paul. Okay, so let me tell you about Les Paul. So everybody knows that when you go into the recording studio, one person records their part, and then somebody else records their part, and the recording producer person in the sound booth just magically puts them together, right? And we can do that on our computers. A lot of people are doing that now with the Acapella app. Totally normal, right? Yeah. Well, Les Paul invented that. Les Paul invented that. Before Les Paul invented the multi-track recorder, everyone had to be in the same room at the same time recording. They all had to play at the same time, got recorded in one take. If the take was not good, you know, maybe they could splice it together, but they couldn't overlay, they couldn't record a different instrument over without getting rid of the first instrument. So Les Paul is to thank for your ability to go and fix your mistakes in the recording studio.
And to record different parts at different times.
So that's maybe the less famous thing that Les Paul is famous for, even though it's huge, it's enormous. Now, if you've ever heard somebody use a little tiny box that they put on the floor where they press it and then they play something and then it automatically plays back.
My child does that.
Huh?
My child does that every day.
Okay. Well, tell him Les Paul invented that.
I will. What's that called?
What did they call it, Chris?
We had to order it at the start of all this, so he
An
had
Echo
one.
Box or something. You had one.
No, I'm forgetting. I'm blanking.
Hold on.
You're, anyway, somebody's screaming at their TV right now.
Yes.
Um,
Yes. To stop this shenanigans.
Well, I'll tell you what, whatever you call it, it's not what Les Paul called it. You can do a web search. Let's see, there's a great interview with Les Paul on the Sunday morning show on CBS way back when. It's Les Paul and
Charles Kuralt?
no,
No.
the guy with the huge hair. Remember him? And the mustache?
Oh yeah. Gene Shalit. No, not Gene
Yeah.
Shalit. What's his
So
name?
anyway, yeah, Douglas,
Dr. Whitbeck and I can go on and on like this for hours.
reel it in, gentlemen.
Anyway, he was talking about that. Well, okay, so here's the thing you've all been waiting for. Those of you who know what Les Paul is famous for. Les Paul is famous for the solid body electric guitar.
Oh,
Now you might think, okay, why solid body? Just think electric guitar, basically. The electric guitar, as you know it now, was invented by Les Paul. Now they had electric guitars technically before him. It was basically in a guitar with a microphone inside. But Les Paul invented he's getting a prop. Okay, so here we have a non-Les Paul invented electric guitar. Basically an acoustic guitar, right? With a
Microphone.
it actually does have a pickup.
Yeah, this one does.
Yeah.
But you can also play this and get
Yeah.
untuned sound out of it.
But the pickup, you want to point to the pickup there, Dr. Whitbeck? That weird thing there, okay? So Les Paul invented those. And that enabled you to have a guitar that didn't really sound like much at all when it wasn't plugged in, and then plug into an amplifier, and all of a sudden, wowie kazowie. And he was graced with having a very famous solid body electric guitar named after him, which we all know and love, the Les Paul, made by Gibson, the Les Paul. It's probably tied as the most famous model of electric guitar with this Fender Stratocaster.
yeah,
Dr. Whitbeck,
Fender is what we have.
name some famous Les Paul guitarists.
Hold on.
I would say
Let's start with Les Paul.
the guy from Dire Straits.
Mark Knopfler.
Mark Knopfler. That's the first one that comes to mind.
Slash.
Slash from Guns
Jimmy
N' Roses.
Page.
Jimmy Page from Led Zeppelin was a very famous Les Paulist.
Yeah. So, and there's a big debate, which one is better, the Les Paul or the Fender.
Fender.
Fender Strat.
So thank you, Mr. Brogy, for all of this information.
Put up an online poll.
And we will, I'm sure, have more musical jokes and facts as Creative Kids moves on. So let's go back to.
It's nice to see you're both wearing your sportswear for Sports Day. I'm still in my color shirt for
You
Douglas
are.
Day.
Yeah, I have Brazil.
Good. So remember, everybody, it's Sports Day.
It is. Yeah. Send us your pictures. We'll share them here on Creative Kids. Here's a little PSA that was put together for Mrs. Breslin's class. Nope. Hold on a second.
It's a silent.
Why?
Silent film.
Silent film, yeah. I find out we watched The Jazz Singer.
Oh, stop right there. Why? You know, coronavirus. We're supposed to keep 6 feet apart. But why are we keeping 6 feet apart? Well, if I had coronavirus and you came in 6 feet of me, you might get it. If you were 6 feet away, you have a lower chance of getting it. Oh, it's okay. We can still play 6 feet apart. Yay, wanna go baking? Sure.
Minutes later.
Let's go to Jamie's Pizza. That's closed because if it was open, you might run into people with coronavirus. Well, a lot of restaurants are closed during this time. Some of them are open. Some of them are even offering curbside pickup. Oh, yeah, how would I go get shaved ice by curbside pickup? Awesome! Alright, meet me at the beach. Alright, so that's a lot of the things you need to know about coronavirus. And you're gonna wash your hands after this, right? Yep. Good. If we want the world to change back to how it was, we need to follow the rules of coronavirus. Okay. Wow, it's been a great day, hasn't it? Yeah.
That was so amazing.
I like how it ends with "It's been a great day."
I feel
Very
like that should be on TV for kids to watch so that they understand a little bit more about it, you know?
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, yeah, very, very, very well done. And that was an assignment that some of the kids in fourth grade had to accomplish. So
Super clever. I loved all the props.
yeah. So last time we were on with Mr. Brogy, we were talking about the bees that are in my backyard that we had adopted, and so I just thought I'd share some bee updates. This was the day we got the bees, and the bees came in this box. And interestingly enough, my son Hunter had to drive from Billerica to the house with a box full of bees, and he said, if you ever every student driver should have to do that because you want to drive very cautiously so that this box does not tip over. You don't want to take turns really fast when you've got a box of 15,000 bees in your car.
Can't even imagine the fear.
Right. And so then he's got his smoker here, and this is just filled with dry leaves and pine needles that were set on fire, and they make lots of smoke. And the bees, it masks a pheromone, a chemical that they can smell, and so they just kind of hang out. And so this is him lifting up the bees to put into his box.
Dr. Whitbeck,
Yeah.
has that been proven yet? How the smoke works?
How the smoke works?
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
because I've heard different things from bee people.
And what did they say?
The bee thing that I went to recently, the guy said that it triggers a response where the bees think that there is a forest fire, so they go back to their hive.
I had never heard that. I will do more research and come back next Tuesday and tell you.
I should say before he said that, he said that they're still not 100% sure why they do that, but that was one theory. So it'd be interesting to see.
I will find out. My son is also working in a lab that is doing research on insect development, neural development. So maybe somebody there knows. Yeah. So here are the bees with their honeycomb, and so lots of people are afraid of bees. But these bees are by far the most docile bees that I have ever met. So here's a bee, a worker honeybee, and you see how big the back of his leg is? That is just pollen that he has collected, and this bee was so laden with pollen that he tried to fly into the hive. And he missed it because it was so heavy. He just went down below the hive, had to come back up, and it was like a really heavy helicopter just coming and landed up on here. And then this bee is in a flower, on our deck, and this is not like zoomed in. This is just me taking a video of the bee, and what he's doing is he's drinking the nectar from the flower, and he has a long tongue called a proboscis, and he gets in there, and there he is drinking, and then he cleans off. When he's done, there he goes. He's going to clean off his proboscis. He wipes it off. So and this bee actually was stuck on one of our screens. And we put our finger out, he climbed onto the finger, and we put him on a flower.
So. No, nay, never.
And very soon, and so those frames that you saw with the bees, we have a bunch of empty ones, and the bees, and they're in there with the bees, and they are building honeycomb on them now. And very soon we will be harvesting honey. So next month sometime. So there's the bees. And then Mrs. Lorenaga, hot off the press this morning, sent me this video, I believe.
This is the McGargs celebrating Douglas Day.
Okay. And oh, you know the difference between a trampoline and an accordion? You take your shoes off before you jump on a trampoline. Oh, very nice. It looks like it's the blue and white team. Happy Douglas Day. Very, very good.
And everything. Thanks, Agnes. Thank you, Grayson, making it look fun.
Yes, excellent. And
I did get several sets of pictures yesterday. I'm saving them for the slideshow, but please send them in to jlarrenaga, LARRENAGA at abschools.org for the slideshow that we're going to have after Douglas Week is over.
Excellent. We'll put her email down in the description section. So
Beautiful.
So Sean and so I was walking in the woods maybe a week ago or so, or maybe longer. And I saw this beautiful rock painted with a sunshine and a face, and it was actually this rock. And I was so excited by it because it was just left there, and it made me smile. It was like, oh my gosh, somebody put a nice smiley rock in the woods, and it showed up, because the woods were all green and brown, and it really stood out. And then when Kyle's dad sent me his sign this morning for his birthday, he also sent me this picture of the rocks that they painted. And I was like, oh my goodness, that was the rock I saw in the woods. What are the chances that they would then have a picture of it and send it to Radio Douglas? So thank you, Kyle and Sean and your family for painting rocks. And they said that they spread these through trails all around Acton. So see if you can find one of their happy rocks.
It is fun when you find them, I have to say. I found a couple.
Yeah. And here's Sean doing some balancing. Maybe. There we go.
Wow. That's hard.
I could not do that.
Good job, Sean. I could not do that. I don't know many people who can.
And then there's also a balancing on a ball.
Equally challenging.
Isn't that great?
That's wonderful. It's good for sport.
Looks a little dangerous with that chair right behind him, but I'm glad that he was safe. This day in history, there's so much going on. 1934, the first appearance of Donald Duck in a cartoon, The Little Wise Hen. Happy birthday! They
call it his birthday today.
Yeah, happy birthday, Donald Duck. Jelly Roll Blues was recorded by the great Jelly Roll Morton, one of Mr. Brogy's favorite songs, I think.
Sounds like it would go with Donald Duck.
Doesn't it? But that was 10 years earlier. So that's second. And yesterday's trivia question was about how fast horses run. So in 1973, at the 105th Belmont race, Secretariat won in 2 minutes and 24 seconds, becoming the first Triple Crown winner in 25 years. And if you don't think that's exciting, just watch this little video and listen to how exciting it was. See, why does this keep happening?
Secretary leads his field by 18 lengths. And now Price of Prince is taken second. And my talent is Hayes Gardner third. They're in the stretch. Secretariat has opened a 22-length lead. He's going to be the Triple Crown winner. Here comes Secretariat to the wire. An unbelievable, an amazing performance. He hits the finish 25 lengths in front.
What an athlete.
25 lengths in front of the next horse.
Secretariat was an amazing, amazing animal and a wonderful athlete.
Yeah, the first.
I just want to say about Joey Earl Morton. I missed my chance. People probably asking why this person they've never heard of is up on the screen right now, because Joey Earl Morton is one of the founders of jazz.
Yeah.
One of the most famous, one of the most important people to the evolution of jazz. So that's why he's worth noting.
Oh, thank you. I was remiss in not mentioning that.
Yeah, I didn't know that, Peter. Thank you.
All right, now to the slide that wants to just keep coming up.
Yes, the racehorse that just keeps running. So the highest speed ever recorded is 43.97 miles per hour, and it was achieved by Winning Brew at the Penn National Racecourse in Pennsylvania in 2008. Think about sitting on top of a horse going 43 miles an hour.
Almost 44, yeah.
Terrifying. Terrifying. Walking on a horse is terrifying. Never mind that.
It must be difficult. Sean could probably walk on a horse.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
man, I like to sit on horses. When I ride them, I like to sit on them.
Yes.
That's amazing. 44 miles an hour. Yeah. With no seatbelt?
Nope, no seatbelt, just a saddle and some stirrups, I would imagine.
Yeah. Excellent. That's pretty fast.
Yep. So because, we were talking about Donald Duck and I saw a sneak peek, I did trivia, and I want to know, what kind of a duck is Donald Duck?
And you're not thinking like a duck with an anger management problem.
Well, I do think that, but I'm thinking more of the classification animal-wise.
The genus and species of Donald Duck.
Yes, and cartoon and animated are not answers I'm looking for.
Oh, okay. I was not going to say that, but.
And he is modeled after a certain species of duck?
That is correct, and that is what I would like to know.
Got it. All right.
Got the yellow bill and,
Well, will you have the answer for us tomorrow?
Of course.
All right. Then we will come back tomorrow to find out more about Donald Duck. All right. And with that, we'll leave you with something entirely thought-provoking. A gentleman. We don't know who said this, but a gentleman is someone who can play the accordion.
And doesn't.
But doesn't. And with that, have a turbulent, top time-telling, tall tales in terrible tempo Tuesday.
Boom.
Goodbye, everybody.
Thanks for coming, everybody.